Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Jessica and this channel is Pine and Plates. Today I'm going to take you along this morning as I get some pot roast prepped so that we can have that for lunch after our meeting, since we ate up all of our leftovers and don't have any lunch meat left. I have to go grocery shopping later this afternoon. I also wanted to get a batch of English muffins started for the week, some bread made, and some granola made for the week as well. So join me as we meal prep for the week. I'm starting with adding olive oil to my Instapot and putting it on that saute setting. I'm patting dry my chuck roast here and adding some salt and pepper with some oregano seasoning. I will then add this to my pan when it's nice and hot and let it sear for about 5 minutes. And I'm going to season the other side with those exact same seasonings of salt and pepper and oregano. And honestly, I'm just doing what my heart desires with the seasoning. We'll flip it and make sure that it gets all nice and caramelized brown on both sides. Next, we'll add in our 2 cups of water, or just enough water to cover it about halfway. And then you'll see I'm going to do some garlic powder and some onion powder on this dish as well. I will put this on the pressure cook setting of high or about 40 minutes, and I'm going to let it do its natural release and on the keep warm setting until we get back. We are back home now, and so I'm going to dice up some carrots and some potatoes, and I'm going to roast these in my air fryer, and so we can have some nice veggies on the side with this dish. I will coat these with some olive oil and some garlic herb seasoning that I also have. This will then go into my air fryer for 25 minutes at 400 degrees. By getting 2 loaves of our sandwich bread started, and I'll show you that recipe. To our mixer, we're going to add a half a cup of coconut oil, two tablespoons of honey, about let me wash my hands. We're going to add a tablespoon of salt. We're going to add a cup of starter. This is a half a cup here, so I'll do 2 of these. And you want your starter to be active and bubbly. 2.5 cups of water. We will then add 8 cups of flour. I'm going to get this started before I add my other 4 cups of flour. I will cover and let this sit and rise for about 6 to 8 hours before I shape it into the loaves. I will cut the dough in half and lightly knead it into the shape of a loaf. Let's start by getting the English muffin dough prepped. So to our pan, we're just going to add 2 cups of flour. Actually, we'll do 2.5 cups of flour. 1 cup of water. And just a 1/2 cup of starter. And we'll combine that and just let it sit for until this evening actually, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients and cook them up. We will now add in 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and combine that all together. Our skillet has been preheated to high with a little bit of coconut oil added to it, and I am adding about 1/4 cup or a big dollop of the dough mixture onto this. We'll reduce the heat to low and let those cook for about 10 minutes or until they have like doubled in size. And then I'm going to turn the skillet to a medium low and flip them and continue to cook them until they are fully cooked on both sides. And finally, I'm going to be making some granola. For this granola, I'm going to start with 3 cups of oats and 1 cup of nuts of your choice. Today, I am doing some chopped walnuts with mine. I am then adding in 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil and then 1/4 of a cup of honey. We are adding 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of vanilla, and a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. Lastly, I'm adding a half of a cup of unsweetened coconut flakes. We will spread this mixture evenly on our baking sheet and bake this in an oven at 325 degrees for about 25 to 35 minutes or until it is golden brown. I am then adding in about a half of a cup of dried fruit, and the fruit that I chose today was some dried cherries that I had. I enjoyed taking you along in my kitchen today and showing you how I prepared for the week with these homemade delicious foods. I look forward to having you back in my kitchen again, and I hope you have a good night. Bye.